Oh, Himmel, ist das kalt. Hey, hol mir mal die Witterjacke. Die dicke, es ist schweinekalt hier.
Alright everyone, welcome to Kharkov. It's winter time. So you probably can already see this from the map. It's a city map. Before our artillery players get a little annoyed by this, just have a look at the street right in front of me. It's rather large, rather big in size, so I don't think it'll be much of a problem to hit stuff inside them. Plus, when you look at the grid, you can clearly see there should be quite a few nice firing positions into the map, into the city. And there's a pretty open area on the upper left side. We'll see. I doubt though that tanks with low armor will have a lot of fun here that really rely on camo. For example, the Waffenträger line, but we'll have to see that. Now, I've only really looked once at this map, so this is not really any kind of strategical or tactical information on the map. It's just having a look at it. And what I've seen, I like it. I like it. You have these good old Russian buildings here, like these big block buildings everywhere. Large roads. Bloody 88 guns. Just look at this gorgeous gun just standing there waiting for an IS to come around, and then goodbye IS. That's how I like my guns. You have frags standing around over half tracks everywhere. Basically tanks all around, positions. You really feel with this map that there's a war going on here. You have Tigers, IS tanks, T-34s, fragages everywhere. Problem with that is, while it does look cool to have that standing all around, it's a little bit empty, I have to say. And you can see this, it has this kind of dust flying around. I think that's a pretty cool effect, but it seems to be a little underwhelming right now. And I'm not so sure about that. What I do like are these buildings. It looks different from what you remember from Himmelsdorf, and it should, because obviously Russian buildings look quite different from good old German ones. There's quite a difference in that, and you see this everywhere. Oh wait, what do we have there? Rhino? No, wait, it's Russian, right? No, wait, this is Kino. No? Maybe? I don't know. You have burning buildings everywhere. From an atmosphere, this is two tanks. That's a picture for the making. Look at that. So, seems like so we all know the stories of T-34s ramming German tanks because, you know, either their guns wouldn't penetrate them anymore. Well, apparently Germans like that too. It's quite a traffic accident there. So map-wise, ambience, it's great. It looks awesome. You have all these blockades, rubble everywhere. That's cool. I really like that the roads here are way wider than they are at, for example, Himmelsdorf. They still added the rubble to give people something to, you know, use as cover. Like T-30 can use this quite nicely to go hold down. That's pretty cool. You have that basically everywhere. Let's see. Here you have the rubble on the sides of the road. Let's see, do we have something a little bit bigger rubble? Here again, you can go hold down, kinda. I'm not sure if you can shoot through that, and I don't think you can actually. At least not the lower parts. So you can go hold down there. You have these this is something I really like about this map. You have all kinds of passages going through here. It's like you can flank around rather quickly. You have to be top-notch when it comes to your situational awareness, because you can be flanked so very quickly and easily. So you gotta watch out for that. And I love that. That's why I like city maps so much for tanks, because you really have to think about what road can an enemy come from, what road can you use to flank enemies. And I like that. Personally, I really like it. Now, we're in the open area right now. This is the usual things. You have a few hills, you have your hoses to use as cover. It's pretty open though, so I can see sniper duels happening here. Maybe a heavy tank can use the... There we go. Maybe a heavy tank can use these houses as cover to angle behind them and hold the line here. But aside from that, there's not really much. Bushes, also not as many as you would think. Mostly because, here's the thing, Wargaming wants to do less bushes, less camo, and all these kinds of things, and wants to focus more on more active gameplay. And it kind of shows on maps like this. Like, all the new maps have this, all the remade maps have this, and I like that. But there are tanks in-game that really rely on camo. The Jagdpanzer IV, for example, one of my favorites, really likes its camo. It has great camo, and one of my favorite tactics will always be to sit inside a bush and shoot stuff without ever being detected up until 70 meters in front of me while I'm shooting. Aside from that, well, we have the outskirts of the city here. Not that big again. I think the map is one of the larger ones. Still not really as big as you would think. Yeah, World of Tanks standards big. Simple as that. Cap circles are in interesting positions. You have all these destroyed buildings, roads that you can use as cover in case you need to defend, or, well, in case you're capturing the points. You can pretty much come in from 4 different directions to the cap. And I like that. That means capturing a base is not that easy. However, defending it won't be all too easily either, because you will be spotted rather easily, very quickly. The map will be less about vision control and more about situational awareness, and that I like. Yeah, just killing a little Russian AT gun here. We don't need your kind ever in this game. Buildings, for the most part, indestructible. There are a few smaller buildings like this one over there, this little one. But aside from that, the buildings are indestructible, and that means that they are hard cover. There's no way to get rid of them. And that'll be interesting. You can see here we have a little building. The developers really like doing this, like having 1 or 2 obstacles directly inside the cap. That seems to be the way they're going for with every map nowadays. I can see that. That's actually pretty good and alright. I would prefer destructible cover, because that gives the defender, if there are any, the chance to actually do something without having to move in. Because we all know some tanks just can't move in. If my Leopard is at 200 hit points, I sure don't want to attack full speed ahead, because, well, I'm probably not going to survive that. Some nice little touches here. Like, this building is currently under construction. Very nice. Or repair, better to say. The buildings themselves look pretty cool. I always like the Russian type of building. Huge buildings, huge blocks of buildings. But again, in my opinion, World of Tanks maps are just so small. Like, every time I look at the map like this, I'm like, oh wow, look at these buildings over there. I wish I could drive over there. Another missed opportunity in my opinion. These things, I would love to be there. I would love to have something else there, something destructible. You destroy it, then you can drive through it. That would be kind of nice. Or just a wall to drive through. That's better than just having some rubble there, or, you know, nothing like on the other occasions we saw a place like that. Aside from that, we have the fires everywhere in the city. It looks pretty good. It's not as impressive as Erlenberg on fire, but it's still kind of good. Not bad. It's alright, I guess. Also, what I meant with the dust is probably just snow. Well, anyway, this is just a small look in the map. I really like it. It's a city map. I always like city maps. They're pretty much a lot of fun. Big roads, one giant plaza in the middle. Interesting. So, from my idea, what we're going to see is TDs and artillery will probably position itself in these positions in the rear. You can easily shoot inside these roads. Like, for example, I drive this way from the green team, and artillery can position itself here at A7. And yeah, well, if a light tank or someone fast can spot me while I'm in there, they can hit me. If I'm already here somewhere, they can always relocate over there, somewhere here, and shoot into the road. So while it looks like a city map that is rather harsh on artillery, it really isn't, because the roads are really big. And that brings me to the problem. The map is small. It looks big at first, and it will be pretty hard on people that are bad with situational awareness, but that's mostly because all these sideways coming through here. All these buildings have little sideways that you can maneuver through, and yeah, you'll probably have to fight modern war, terrorist war style, 360 degrees of danger zone all the time, and that's what people really can't do. But when you look at it, you have the big place in the middle, one giant road, main road here. You have basically this small path leading through these houses. Then you have another rather big road in the middle, and then you're already on the outskirts. City part, not too impressive in size, I have to admit. It's nice. It will be a good map, I would say, but it could be so much more. I'd really like to see a map which is 2000 to 2000 with an entire city and some outskirts, a part of the outskirts, for people who really prefer to be outside the city. But like this, it's always the point. It is good, but there could have been more. Aside from that, it looks good. Could be rather decent. I haven't had a battle on it yet. It hasn't dropped from me once. I had a few of the remade maps so far. They look pretty good. I like Tundra. Tundra had some nice changes. Aside from, yeah, and that's basically it. Well, the Winter War just got a little bit hotter again. Overall, a good map, and I'm looking forward to fighting on here. Anyway, see you next time.